Hey everybody, so I hope everyone is doing well. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed, left positive feedback, and continue to comment and view this channel. With all of that being said, y'all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. So anyway, yesterday I feel like I'm finally getting some use out of the car magnet that I mentioned in a previous video that I purchased for my vehicle in regards to my notary work. And with this car magnet, when I made the purchase, I also received about 100 business cards that I paid for additionally as well. I actually passed a few out yesterday, so I'm really excited about that. And I look forward to continuing to carefully and strategically place them in places because I really don't want to waste my business cards, okay? And I feel like my car magnet is really great promotion enough when I'm out and about, but I just don't want to end up leaving my business cards in places where they're really not going to get much use, and chances are they're going to get thrown away, but I guess it is what it is, right? So anyway, yesterday I wound up taking my uncle to a facility for him to take care of some business. I'm not gonna say where or whatever. But anyway, while parked outside or while even arriving, I suppose, someone who was inside the facility, I don't know if it was necessarily to get notary services, they saw my vehicle in the car magnet and they immediately gave me a call. So by the time I had parked, my phone started ringing. So when I answered the call, I really couldn't make out what the person was saying because they had an accent that was unfamiliar to me. And I think they pronounced my name wrong. So I had to make sense of it when they said notary. And I was like, okay, it's got to be me. I forgot I had this magnet on my car. It's me that they're talking about. So the individual expressed that they were inside the facility that I just dropped my uncle into or off to. And, I was parked in the parking lot of, and that he was in this long line and he was going to come out because he needs a notary. So I'm like, maybe he was in that facility for a notary, but the line was long and he didn't want to wait. And how ironic, here I go advertising that I'm a notary on my car, and he sees that from inside of the building. From inside of the building, y'all, he sees my clear magnet, which I made with Vistaprint, and I excuse me, I talked about this in a previous video, and I'll leave those links in the description box to each of these videos. But yes, he saw my magnet from the inside of the building, which lets me know that I did a great job with designing the magnet and choosing the colors that I chose. And Vistaprint did an excellent job with following up on that design. So nonetheless, he came out and he explained to me that he was looking to have an auto loan notarized. Here's the thing, okay? I've been a notary since July. I've been swamped and consumed with being a notary signing agent that I really fell off from researching what are the other things that a notary could be. What are the other things that a notary can do? What are the type of documents that a notary has the right to notarize, especially here in the state of Ohio. So I was like, "What? I've never heard of notarizing an auto loan." I just played it cool, and I said to him, I said, "Wow, you need a auto loan notarized? I never heard of that before. But you know what? I can look over the documents and I'll know for certain if you need me or not." He was like, "Yes, I don't know why they want me to have it notarized, but I need it notarized or whatever the case may be." And he was like, "I live right over there." So then he pointed to a nearby apartment building. He said, "I live right over there. And if you have a moment, I can go run and get it." And so what ended up happening ultimately with him is the auto loan situation. He ended up in a car, like when he said he was getting ready to leave, he ended up going into his car, which was parked by mine, and he kind of sat there for a while. So I'm like, what is going on? At this point, I'm actually with my mother and uncle, as well as my children in the car. So I was actually running them around so they can run their errands, and that's where I get my free promotion in. So while doing so, I'm here trying to incorporate this now assignment. But as he went and did what he did, it gave me a chance to research because I was really nervous. I was like, I cannot show him that I'm nervous. I have to be professional. I have to show that I know what I'm talking about, even when I don't know what I'm talking about. I have to still be able to show that I know what I'm talking about. So even though I expressed to him that I had never heard of that, I still made sure that I confirmed with him it's perfectly okay. I can overlook your documents and see if there's something in there for me to take care of. And that's 100% sure. I realized with this work, it is so many things that a notary can do. And if you just go back to the foundation of it all, if you go back again, y'all know I love to say it, and y'all already know what I'm about to say. if you go back to your Secretary of State website and look at the do's and don'ts of the state notary, or the rules and regulations for your state as far as being a notary goes, it isn't too complicated to figure out what you as the notary need to zone in on any document. I don't care about what the document has on there. What are all the things on the document? My responsibility as a notary is simply verifying that the person that is signing this document is who they say they are. That's it. I don't know what the rest of this document has to say. As long as it's not something that tells me I'm not, that the Secretary of State tells me I'm not supposed to do, or even notarize, then it's really not too difficult, especially as you gain some more experience and really study more about the different type of documents that notarial certificates are placed in. You start to understand that at the end of the day, as a notary, your focus is really on that notary certificate, regardless of what the rest of the document is. Your focus is on that notarial, is it notarial or notarial certificate. And just keeping in mind, in the back of your mind, though, that your Secretary of State says, well, there is a list of things you're not supposed to touch. And as long as that document in front of you is not on that list, it is what it is. So and as long as you can understand the document is saying, it is what it is. So, with that being said, I just kind of went back to my vehicle as he sat in his vehicle. And at this point, I didn't know he was making a phone call. And I ended up Googling about auto loans. I was trying to figure out, okay, what type of auto loan would even need a notary? Because I know I've purchased vehicles in the past, with like a car note or something, and never had to get a notary as far as I know. But I'm like, what it is. So I ended up running into this website, notarystars.com, and there was this, I guess you could say, article promoting this company called Maverick Auto Loan Signings, and it seems like these individuals are notaries that specialize in notary auto loan signings, particularly to the one it seems like I was getting ready to do. And what I found out is that it seems like what they're saying is a lot of vehicle sales nowadays, especially, are taking place online. So individuals, the companies rather, they need a way to verify that the individual they're getting ready to bless the loan to, I guess, if you want to call it that, the individual they're getting ready to approve the loan to, or whatever, they need to know that that person is really that person, especially if they're doing this transaction online. Here is where a notary comes in, because again, we just verify someone's identity. And so it made sense at that point, especially when I realized that the man went into his car, but he hadn't drove off yet to go get the documents. So I got out of my car and I asked him, I said, are you okay? Everything okay? He said, yes, I'm on the phone with the company now. They're getting ready to send me the documents, and then I have to go print them. I'm like, I thought you had the documents on you. I can't just sit here. Like, I have my uncle, I have my mother, my children are in the car. We can't just sit here. So I told him, I said, we can meet you somewhere, or you could schedule an appointment with me, but I cannot just sit here. I have my family in the car, so and then you have to print out those documents. So you could just let me know. You can call me and let me know when you finally receive those documents, and we'll set up a time. But he was very adamant about getting it done right away. But for myself, who can sometimes be a people pleaser, like, I'm a recovering people pleaser, just so you all know. Yes, you heard that correctly. I am a recovering people pleaser. So at times I find myself falling back into that cycle of wanting to go, well, oh, it's perfectly fine. You're okay. I'll just sit here and wait. Like, no, because time is money. And if you're only about to pay the state mandated amount, $5 for a notary, for this notary transaction, that's not, no, you're going to end up paying for my time in a minute. So let's make this easier on both of us, and you go print those documents out and call me with an appointment, like I would prefer anyone to do. But I understand also, being a mobile notary, for me personally, it's kind of exciting to me to have people, reach out to me at the spur or drop of a hat or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, cool, an assignment or whatever the case may be. But not that situation, not when you're that unprepared. So eventually the day went on, and I had a few correspondences with him, one in which he called me like immediately after I had left that location, where he was like, I still want to meet up with you. Where are you? Or whatever the case may be, because he's trying to come to me so that I don't have to come to him. And I was still in the area, still in the shopping area, because it's like one big shopping area. So I'm still in the area, but the issue again, he still was not prepared. I truly believe he had issues probably printing it out. It being that it's an auto loan, I don't even know if he owns a printer, but I don't know, maybe he has some issues printing it out. I'm not quite certain how many pages it would have been. either way it go, the rest of the day went on where I just stopped corresponding with him because I said, you know what, this is actually ridiculous. And he should have just said, you know what, I don't have it together. And I'm just going to call you back with a later time. I don't know if he got lost in translation. I don't know where he's from. I don't know if this is, his culture. Listen, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying I don't understand that aspect of things. Like, if you really, really needed a notary, you should have just simply said, I don't have it together and I'm going to have to call you back with a later time, instead of kind of leaving me in a loop of thinking like eventually you'll contact me. And at a certain point, it starts to get dark where I'm at. So about four something, four-ish, I was just like, you know what, I'm not going out. If he calls, he's gonna have to wait till the next day because now it's getting dark, and for my safety, I'm good on that. I'm about to drop my family off. No one's gonna be in the car with me, so I'm not feeling that at all. But nonetheless, even though that assignment did not work out, it actually turned out to be a big blessing for myself because it pushed me back into really researching more about being a actual notary versus a notary signing agent. And I learned again, yet something else that we can do as notaries. And some of you may have already known this. I personally didn't. I had spent so much time being consumed with being a notary signing agent. I didn't even think about the plethora of opportunities with simply being a notary, and particularly how this can transfer over, mind you, to being a notary sign, excuse me, a remote online notary. Because imagine creating a clientele of individuals of different platforms, including auto loans, right? And you create that clientele and then you tell them, hey, I got something even better for you. I have it now where you can have your client or the person that is applying for the loan. They can, if they have the technology capabilities, they can actually not have to leave their home. I don't have to come to them. They can get online and we can get this signing done or this notary done online for this fee. So, it's just the possibilities are endless. And I feel like nothing just happens for no reason. Or did I say that right? Did I cancel that out with the nothing and no reason? Y'all know what I mean. Anyway, I don't feel like, things just happen for no reason. I feel like this experience was meant to be that even if I didn't get him eventually as a client, which I didn't, I learned something new and it definitely revived my faith, especially after going through what I just went through with the remote online notary journey that I'm beginning, mind you. I'm still in the beginning stages, but it is what it is. And it's like there's always something to remind me, no, don't quit. There's always going to be a way. And I personally attribute that to my creator. You attribute that to whatever you want it to be. And listen, I hope everyone is doing great, outstanding. I hope things are thriving for you. If not, I hope you don't quit. I'm not quitting. Don't you quit. And I really hope that we have a awesome and how can I say it, a very good reviving week and a week full of new knowledge for us, especially as notaries and entrepreneurs, mind you. So thank you. And that's all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great week.